Hey folks, hello from Orlando, Florida. Hi, saw Black Phone 2 last night. I kind of like the first one. Second one's very gory. I give it, daughter loved it. I give it, let's see, give it a thumbs up and maybe like 3.5 stars. Went to Titusville to see it. Anyways, I'm in hot Florida. This is a longer tube for you, a longer video for YouTube. My wife's having a mammogram. As you know, I'm recently out of the hospital from a heart cath, feeling good. Took my meds. Anyways, like, subscribe, comment, troll, share, say something rude. Hi, Cheek. Hi to I think I have 13 followers now. Hi, 13 followers. Love you all. All right, so we covered Black Phone 2. Tattoo pop-up next month, November 31st to the 17th. I have 3 gracious hosts. Very excited. Keep in mind I have to walk between tattoos. Jen the Hustler, another, pardon me, another host in Collegeville, not the normal one, but a different one. And the other one is a newer one in near the White Horse Dinette, not Gordonville, near Paradise Intercourse area, not far from the Compass Turkey Hill. I'm driving the Chevy Cavalier. 5 years I've had it. Paid $500. Thanks, Cody, for looking out. Didn't really have a topic for this video. Just thought I'd give a shout out. Gives my subscribers a little dose of me. That's what you subscribe for. So yeah, tattoo pop-ups is my new thing. 9 years of the tattoo tour. So I thought I would chime in on the present state of tattooing. So you've got tattoo shops, you've got street shops, these private studios, travelers, people that go to conventions. You know, there's a lot of complaining. I still work at shops doing guest spots, so I hear a lot of complaining. I see it on TikTok, Amazon, and whatnot, Twitter. People do ask me my thoughts. What I say to do is, you know, young or old or whatever, forge your own path. Stay in your lane. Work social media. Get help with social media. I've reached out to younger people to help me. Draw. I work on a comic book. I watch tutorials with Jim Lee, comic book artist. I'm always reading comics. I'm always trying to improve, you know, looking at Flash online, seeing what Philip Liu's doing. Conventions, check them out. This private studio thing, okay? How they're popping up everywhere. It's a room in someone's house. You know, my opinion is that's been going on for a long time. I mean, I got tattooed a Guilty and Innocent in the early 90s. And then not long after that, Guy Aitchison, now keep in mind he's Guy Aitchison, okay? Not some goofball that's been tattooing with a few months with a rotary pen off Amazon. But, you know, he opened a private studio at his home. And, you know, nobody's complaining there. I would go get tattooed there. I would have back then. He's tattooed me 3 times. Twice at conventions. And we smoked a killer doob together back in the day. Little doobie. But anyways, my tattoo came out great. But, yeah, I've been tattooed by him 3 times. Proud to say I got tattooed a Guilty and Innocent. There's many great people that have private studios. My God, Mr. Cartoon's been doing that since back in the day. Paul Booth, I believe after he closed down Last Rites, I've been there. You know, I got tattooed at Fun City too. That was an apartment in New York. The Orsifer, that was a private apartment studio. The problem is that you get an apprentice that gets pissed off about a off-color joke, and then they're like, F you, I'm going to open a private studio. Then they got 4 apprentices, and it's a money grab, and they're doing the $13 thing. I can see why shops get mad. Also today, nobody cares. They'll just open up down the street. They did it to my buddy Bugs in Radford. They just like, F you, they'll come into you, because it's not like the old days. It's not like the old days with a hammer, late 80s, early 90s, where they'll just come in and F you up. It's a whole different ball game. They'll come into your shop. They did this to Bugs, Soul Sign, and they'll just say, I'm going to put you out of business. Then, to get a tax exempt, this one shop near Bugs said they were a church. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. These youngins thinking of stuff. Tattoo church. Isn't that a good one? But anyways, the old days were great, The Eric Mercer days in Delaware, cementing toilets in front of shop doors, it was a Wild West back then, you wouldn't just open up down the street from Roy Boy or Wando or Gil the Drill. Like, you didn't do... Nowadays, they'll open up down the street. They'll have Lambos outside. They do that here in Orlando. Orlando is funny. You'll see a shop. They'll have the car wrapped out front. The whole place done up. Let's see where I am time-wise. Let's see. Oh, we're only 6 minutes in. I try to keep these at like a 10, 15. Okay, so in Orlando's funny. So I had fun. I tried to work at 3 shops in Orlando. I'm not going to get into that back when I first moved here 10 years ago, but Orlando is funny. It's like open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, never open, open, never open, open, never open. It's just like, and some of these shops have great artists. I'll be driving by one day, and they're closed. Or a shop will open up because they had a TV show, and they'll have Lambos outside, billboards, chicks outside in thongs, car washes. Yeah, I've seen the. Now, I did get corrected on the whole barbershop thing. That was a thing back in the day. But I see barbershop, tattoo shops open, and they don't stay open too long here. I've seen it all here. You got the chain shops. You've got mom and pop. Got some old schools. They're hanging in there. The ones I've stopped in, they've been great. They treated me nice. I'm not going to talk about the ones I worked at. I'm over that. But, I get tattooed in Orlando sometimes, and I've always been treated nice. But I just see them open and closing. And they don't care how far they are from you. They'll put billboards up, advertise. Like back in the day, like when I had my first shop, Route 222 in Sinking Springs, PA, I opened up not near other tattoo shops. I kind of found my own spot where there was no tattoo shops. Okay, I guess that's harder to do today, but even back in the day, if you were going to open up near somebody, you would stop in, say hi, introduce yourself, maybe say hello at a show or something instead of like being a goober, you know what I mean? But so anyways, back to the private studio thing. So you got these young people that get in apprenticeships or go to tattoo schools. Mommy and daddy float them some money because rent's high today. They live at home. Every or I see this too, right? A young lady, attractive young lady, and it's always her husband or boyfriend's got a big truck that's always raised. I see these popping up from time to time. So she gets a little following. I don't know if she has an OnlyFans. I'm just being general here. I'm not naming anybody, but I've seen like where a girl gets a kit probably for Christmas. She's attractive, so she's the tattoo model, not the old school, not like a Megan Massacre back in the day who could tattoo. I'm talking like just somebody new. I've been tattooing for 6 months. I got machines off Amazon. I got a nice body. I'm modeling on the side, and I've been doing all this in 3, 4, 6 months. Okay, and now I got a private studio. I've seen that in PA. I've seen that. Okay, that cracks me up. The tattoo church cracks me up. I can see where the old school gets mad about some of this stuff, but you know what? I tried to work in shops here, and I I am my way. I've been tattooing 36 years. Back then it was 26 years, but I do things my way, and I wasn't trying to tell them to do anything, but I don't speak Spanish, and I don't like rap music turned up to 12, so, we're going to get into a little bit, Plus, I don't like the counter boy. I say counter boy / piercer telling me what to do, pricing my tattoos, and, tell me when I can go to lunch, when I can go poop, or when I can, take my daughter to the doctor's, or being like the manager of the shop. Yeah, I'm not into that. I don't want some kid telling me what to do. In some tattoo shop. It's not cool. So, there's that. So now I did get back into it. But anyways, I did try to work at some of these shops. It didn't work out. So anyways, I forged my own path. I did the tattoo tour for 9 years. And you know what? I stayed away from tattoo shops. I made sure, in some cases, I was near one, but I tried to stay away from tattoo shops. And if I was in their neck of the woods, I was nice enough that let me check my time here. 11 minutes, we're good. I made sure that I didn't say, hi, I'm in here, I'm here. You know what I mean? I did it through DMs. I didn't say, hey, I'm in their town. You know what I mean? And I did it 9 years with no problems. Actually, I take that back. There's one guy that did have a problem. I'm not going to name him. Okay? The with no name. He was a little angry. But anyways, one guy aside, 9 years. And during that period of time, I did tattoo conventions. I did some guest spots. Went to some clients' homes. I know that's so frowned upon. But you got to think of it. A table and chairs at someone's house that's kept fairly clean and has a clean bathroom, that's the same as a table and chairs at Exotica, adult expo I went to and tattooed at, or a tattoo convention. A tattoo convention has a slop sink and nasty bathroom, and you got to use hand sanitizer and wet wipes, and my God, you got to wipe down your whole face and hands and crotch if you come out of one of them. Man, bathrooms are nasty. You know what I mean? Ugh. But because there's so many people, we're talking, there's thousands of people going to that bathroom. That's what I mean. Not that the venue has nasty bathrooms. I like tattoo conventions, but I'm just saying, a table and chairs is a table and chairs. And I know people are going to argue, whatever, but whatever. Anyways, I forged my own path, tattooed in a lot of hotels, still do that. I tattoo at a few clients' homes. Usually they have one has a wing. Usually they have a dining room I set up in, or a man cave or something. Usually I make sure it's doable. You know what I mean? Plus everything's disposable. I've been doing it a long time. You know what I mean? So anyways, I'm not going to get in that argument. But I forged my own path, okay? I might travel. I travel, but I'm not opening up down the street trying to take money out of some dude's pocket that's been there 20 years or 5 years or whatever, take money from him. You know what I mean? I still get tattooed at street shops, or I'll get tattooed at private studios. I'd love to get tattooed at the Orsifers again. So anyways, I'm just giving you my opinion. We're at the 14-minute mark, so I'm going to wrap this up. But, yeah, I guess you can hate on them. I don't necessarily hate on them, because I'll tell you why. Because these newbies, the chick with the great body, with the dude with the big truck who has her private studio, in her little house in whatever little I'm talking about ones in PA, in the little town in PA. Is she gonna last? Because she can do a clean outline and do a little shading. I don't know. Maybe. She'll have a kid, and then there'll be a baby in that, I'll get some hate from this, but she'll have a baby, and then they'll be in that tattoo room, It's a phase. She got it for Christmas, Calm down, because some of these private studios aren't going to last, And then, I guess, maybe if you have a guy with you for 6 years, he opens a private studio, it rubs you wrong, but, the tried and true are going to last, Anyways, that's my opinion. And we're at the 15-minute mark. I like to keep these at 10 or 15, maybe 12. But anyways, have a great day. Like, subscribe, all that crap, like saying that. And I really don't have any merch, you know. Come see me next month in Pennsylvania in November. Peace. Remember, kids, stop eating all that pizza. Bye.